Coming up on this edition of the Howard Stern interview, he has an exclusive with a compassionate, pretty good-looking, intelligent, experienced man. Me.
I do look sexy in that, don't I?
I never knew you had blue eyes before.
Geraldo, funny thing, by the way, my guest here tonight, Geraldo Rivera, huh? You gotta love that. Very exciting.
Thank you.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but this is the debut of my new hairstyle. I have less height on my head. I'm going to grow out my hair and have it sweeping in a cascade fashion. You know, it's funny, Geraldo, I always considered you a handsome man, good-looking guy. And yet I asked Fran Shea, the vice president of the E-Network, I said to her before the show, I said, do you think Geraldo's a good-looking guy? And she said, So I said, really? I said, who do you think is better looking, me or Geraldo? And she was like, well, I don't want to say because I work with you. I said, who would you sleep with? Would you sleep with me or would you sleep with Geraldo? And you know what she said? This is surprising to me because I consider you much better looking than me. She says, I am more attractive than you. Wait, let me ask the women. Where are some women here? Who is with you, Geraldo, today? Who is with you?
Oh, Steve North.
Who is better looking? Oh, Steve North? Who would you sleep with, Steve? Geraldo or me? Where are girls? Let's ask a girl. Come here, Betsy. Come here for a second. Who would you sleep? Come here. Who would you sleep with? Seriously. Who do you find more attractive? Me or... I'm shocked. I can't even believe I'm in the running.
Step closer.
Who would you be honest? And you don't have to say...
No, my wife doesn't get E channel, so...
Yeah, you don't have to say...
I'm closer to Geraldo.
Now, be honest, though. Who would you rather sleep with? If you were on an island, let's say, and it meant having sex with one of us, because you had to repopulate the United States of America.
Oh.
Who would you have sex with? Geraldo?
You have 3 daughters.
Yeah, no, I know,
right.
but who...
So
And my gene pool is far more interesting.
Don't go by our personalities or anything like that.
How can they not?
I can't believe that
Can I have you both?
No, come on, be honest. Say something. Give us an answer. Give us a definitive answer. Who would you rather have?
Well, I've just met Geraldo, but I have to work with you, Howard.
So you would sleep with me?
Geraldo.
Oh, you would sleep with Geraldo?
Yes.
How could you do that to me? Thanks a lot. No, Betsy, you were right to give your honest answer. Well, there you go, Geraldo. Good for you.
So congratulations, Dad.
Thank you very much. The most interesting thing about Geraldo, and everybody knows it, aside from your journalism, your different shows that you have on, your specials, the Mafia, the most interesting thing is the women.
The women.
The women. That will never escape you now. Now that you admitted to all of the various women, what do you want to do? You want to get that out of the way first? You want to talk women first and then get to maybe something about your career, which if we have any time left over after we talk about women? Let's go through it, Geraldo. Let's talk about women.
We have to?
We have to go through it. Every time I see Geraldo, I like to go through the various women.
You do. Is it because you only have made love to your wife? Is that
No, that's not true. I have made love
vicariously. Who?
I think it's funny that...
Miss Bauman in the 4th grade, that doesn't count.
Here is who I'm going to tell you about. First of all, Geraldo made love to many famous women, which you admitted to in your book named Geraldo.
No, and exposing myself.
Exposing yourself. Right. And in the book, Geraldo admitted to a lot of different women. But notice the celebrity women are not attractive women, which I think is interesting. Because you would... Now, here we go. Here's your women. The first one is, if you direct your attention to the monitor, Geraldo.
Oh, this is fine.
That is
class.
Bette Midler. Take me back to the night that you had Bette Midler. Now, you met her where?
I met her interviewing her for local news here in New York, Eyewitness News, at her house in Greenwich Village.
In Greenwich Village, you walk in, and there is Bette Midler. And you are attracted to her, or you say to yourself, which I think you did, hey, a notch on my belt of a celebrity. I'm going to have a celebrity. Because you got much better looking regular women than her. This was about celebrity. Having sex with a celebrity. True or false?
Well, I can't deny it. First of all, because I don't remember.
Because you were what, on drugs?
20 years ago.
Were you on drugs back then?
Was I on
drugs? Were you so high on drugs?
I was so As a matter of fact, I've got to shoot up right now.
You were so high on drugs that Bette Midler actually looked good to you.
Do you always stand up and walk around?
Yes, I do. I'm like a lawyer. I go in much like yourself. Now,
What really attracted me to Bette, aside from her persona as probably the most sensual performer, was the fact that she had great
Great. Well, look at this now. Look what you've said. You've said a word I can't say on the air, so we're going to say breasts. Oh, isn't that silly? You're trying to be outrageous like me. Now, all right, so she had great breasts, and how did you get her to bed? Did you just say, Bet, I'm attracted to you, I want you? How long did it take you to close the deal? Brag a little, Geraldo.
No, I can't.
Please
because
brag.
I am so sorry that I wrote this book, and
No,
so
you're not.
sorry that I brought up these
Why?
ancient affairs.
Why?
Because our society is not ready for men to tell tales out of school.
Of course they are.
No, look at Julia Phillips. She can write, "You'll never eat lunch in this town again."
Yes.
And people love that because it's a woman telling her story and the men she's
Bette
conquered.
Midler on a scale of 1 to 10 was as a lover, was
Eight?
an 8. All right, let's move on with your women. We have a lot of women to cover, so I don't want to dwell on Bette Midler. Let's go to this one. Now, here's a one-night stand.
What about my education?
We'll get to your education. That's in the
My
last segment.
interesting ethnic background?
That'll be the last segment.
My
Now,
experience in war and
that'll be the last segment.
my Emmys.
Have you ever served in the armed forces?
I know, never did.
All right.
But I've been to more wars than most soldiers.
Well, this face, Louise Lazar, that looks like a war to me. I'll tell you that. Now, tell me about that. That was Mrs. Woody Allen, am I correct?
Not at the time.
Not at the time. You meet her where?
Hollywood.
And you were aroused by her? You were not. You wanted to have Louise Lazar. You wanted a famous woman.
Possibly.
That's what I think. All of your famous women were not attractive.
Well, it's hard to say.
So it was an ego thing, true?
How much of our conquests are ego things? It's impossible to separate the celebrities from when you go down the street in those days, I used to drive around in taxis, and if you see a woman, I'd say, would I sleep with her or not? In those days. I mean, it's almost a sickness. You're talking in the late 60s, early 70s. And the answer yes came up so often that I used to scare myself.
That is a sex addict. Are you a sex addict, Geraldo?
I'm not any longer.
No longer.
No,
How did you beat your sex addiction?
I had a long talk with my friend John Peters,
John Peters.
who, with Barbra Streisand and
Right.
everything else, and John and I shared a not uncommon affliction at the time. We were trading in our women every couple of weeks or months. We would trade them in, usually for someone younger.
Right.
And then as I began aging and I got into my 40s, and I looked back and I said, is this the life that I'm going to lead? Seriously, until I'm 70 or 80 years old, trading them in. Finally, I'm going to be with someone young enough to be my grandchild.
Wow.
And I recognized that I didn't want to lose my not then wife, but my now wife, Cece, and she was going to throw me out because
The wife helped you to cure your sex addiction because you did not want to lose her.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something. Then we go to Liza Minnelli. Take a look at her. Let's take a look at her. Wow, this
Liza
is your
and I
life
never-
as a sex addict. Now, she
we never,
did not.
We never slept together.
You wanted her.
I did.
You wanted her.
I did.
You wanted her because she was famous.
She was also very attractive and
How do you meet her? Let's play the
Bubbly.
life of Geraldo. Here you are. You were a bachelor at the
I
time.
met her at Studio 54.
Studio 54, you see Liza Minnelli. Judy Garland's daughter. You walk
Right.
up to her and you go, hello, I'm Geraldo.
Right.
And she says, oh, Geraldo, I've seen you on TV, true?
Right.
And then what happens? How soon do you try to make the connection? You move
You're
right
getting
in?
me hot now.
Yeah, show me the move. I'll be Liza. I am Liza. I'm sitting here at Studio 54. And show me the move. Show me the move. Show me the move, Geraldo. Show it to me.
I'm going to show you the move, man.
All right, sit down. All right, very good.
I'm
I'm going to take a break. Now,
Oh, thank God.
we're going to come back. There's a lot more women.
Oh, not a lot more.
Oh, there's a lot
Yeah,
more.
man.
It'll take most of the show. And then we're going to go through your wives. Your 3 wives?
Four.
4 wives. We will go through all 4 wives, and we will take looks at various episodes in your career. It's all coming up right here on the Howard Stern interview with Geraldo Rivera. We'll be right back. Here he is, Geraldo. Look at that, Geraldo.
Geraldo.
Like Cher, he is known by one name,
Rassi,
Geraldo.
Fabian.
That's right. Geraldo, we're
Engelbert.
here. We're in the middle of going through your collective women. It's exciting for me to live through you because you've got
Because
so
you've
many...
only had 2 women in your life.
Well, I've only had a few women. You're right. You're absolutely right. I got married at a young age. And
And you've been faithful to your wife?
I have been faithful to my wife for like 19 years now.
You really have?
That is right. I've only had sex with my wife. And let me tell you
Wait,
something.
you've only been married 19 years?
No, I've been with the same woman 19 years.
And you've been faithful since you met her?
I have been faithful since I met her. And believe me...
That's very impressive.
Oh, let me tell you something. Thank you.
Very impressive.
Let me tell you something. And I could get my share of women.
Oh, I bet
That's
you
the
could.
funny thing.
And famous ones, too.
I could get famous women, and I'll tell you something. If I was single, God forbid my wife should die tomorrow, I would date strippers and then just work my way up to celebrity. And I'll tell you something, my celebrities would run the gamut. Like Geraldo, I'd go with the ugly celebrities, the good-looking celebrities. I wouldn't care as long as they were celebrities. But I would never remarry. I would just date.
Yeah, well, it's funny. You know, this serial marriage, you know, like a serial murderer, serial marriage. You know, I'm 50, almost 50 years old now, and I come from an era where the moral thing was to get married, and I think one of the reasons I kept getting married was that I wanted, in my own mind, to
We're
be
going to
a
get to your
moral person.
wives. We're going to get to your wives and your morality. Because you are the most immoral person
No,
I know.
that's not true.
You really
That's
are, and I
not
will
true.
prove that. Here we go. Now, Chris Everett Lloyd calls you a pig.
A pig.
Why is that? Did you have her? Now that ball, is that yours, Geraldo? That she's smacking? Now, why does she call you a pig? Tell me that.
I don't know. I didn't know that she had.
Did you have sex with her?
I refuse to answer.
What do you mean you refuse to answer?
I refuse to
You
answer.
refuse to
I
answer?
refuse.
What is this, a court of law? If you had the woman, let's talk about it. What do you mean? In your book, Geraldo, did it say...
I'm purposefully ambiguous.
What does that mean? I don't understand why you're purposefully ambiguous.
Well, because you know, people move on in life.
So you did have her.
Things that happened years ago.
So you had her.
But what's the relevance of it? That's why I'm sorry I wrote the book. Because
All right.
the relevance of it is so insignificant.
Now let's move on to Bianca Jagger. Now
Yes.
her you had. You
No.
got close but never followed through. What
Right.
does that mean? How do you meet her? She's married to Mick Jagger at the time?
I met her, I guess, at Studio 54 also.
Studio 54. Geraldo, this was like a playground for you.
It
Is
was
that
a
true?
playground.
I see. And Bianca Jagger was sitting there one night, attractive woman, more attractive than these other house frauds you were with.
I don't remember exactly what the circumstances were.
You have no idea what the circumstances were.
And I don't remember.
Are you saying that because you're uncomfortable with the topic
No,
here?
I would, as I have been with you in the past, be very frank about
You
it. But I
forget
just
about that.
Forget. Yeah.
How do you forget about Bianca Jagger? That's a major part of your
Well, I
life.
forget how exactly we met. I remember, you know, some of the incidents, but I don't remember.
Did you
the
kiss her?
Initial night. that
Did
we
you
met.
kiss her?
As I recall.
Did you kiss her with your tongue? You did, in fact, kiss her with your tongue, didn't you?
I don't remember.
You did?
I don't remember.
You do remember?
No, I don't.
All right, let's continue. You say that the one man that you would have had homosexual sex was Mick Jagger. You said you would have homosexual sex. Have you
If I was so inclined.
Have you ever had homosexual sex?
No.
I do not believe that. I believe that you had a homosexual experience very early in life. Perhaps as a young boy, someone came on to you. Is that true or false?
I would have to say false.
False. You've never had it.
No.
Now, why would you consider having homosexual sex with Mick Jagger?
Because it was 1972. He was there with Rudolf Nureyev and two very attractive, very famous people. I was a local newsman. There was a party at my house on the Lower East Side, and it was a very androgynous time.
It was an
21
androgynous,
years
and you
ago.
started having feelings for Mick Jagger?
No, not that. It was just, you know, I wanted to go and have fun.
You say that you had feelings?
Can you do the radio if that hand is broken?
You had feelings for Mick Jagger? Wow, no kidding. Oh, there you go. All right, very good. I tell you what, we are not done with your women yet. We are running out of time. I must move along with the women. I have
Really?
to take a short break, and we still have
Another
yet to get-
short break?
We have still yet to get to your career. I don't even know
It's
that
been
your
a
career
short
is that
interview.
interesting. We're going to move along right after these words. We'll be back on the Howard Stern interview with Geraldo Rivera. All right, Geraldo's here, the host of the Geraldo Show. He's up against, in a lot of cities, they put you on against Oprah and Phil Donahue. And I'm going to get through the rest of the women, and then we'll get to some of the topics you've done recently.
Tell me first about the bullets in your
The bullets
boots.
in my boots, that's I'm sorry, Geraldo, that's a fashion statement. That's something I'm...
Are they real bullets?
well, yes, I am looking for a wild look, a kind of a biker look.
that
That's
is-
what I'm going for on the show, a biker look. Unfortunately, my mother won't let me ride a bike, so I can't do that. But I have the look, the biker look.
Oh,
yes.
it's cool.
All right, finally, Barbara Walters, you said she was sexy. You find her sexy? Look
Yes.
at that. How's that for a picture? You found her sexy, and you wanted to make love to her, but she rejected you?
Right.
I can't believe she'd reject anybody. She really rejected... I mean, you went
Barbara
after-
Walters is a very fine woman.
Barbara Walters is a yenta,
Gracious.
and you were attracted to her. How did she reject you? You were at the party or something?
She rejected me the way a grown-up rejects a young child.
She said, "Oh, Geraldo, I don't want you."
Pinch me on the cheek.
And how did you proposition her? You said, "I would like to sleep with you, my dear. I find you very attractive."
Oh, sure.
Is
I
that
said
your
that
move?
to Barbara
How did
Walters.
you say it? How did she reject you?
I said, "Are you free this evening?" Something like that.
Right. And she said no.
And she said, "Oh, now I know why they think you're cute."
One of the conquests that Geraldo did not put in his book is the model, Howina. Take a look at this picture, Hawaiina. And now, how did you get her? Now, she has a big cup size.
She was easy. She was on
That was
32nd
Hawaiina.
Street on the west side, right under the docks there.
Like Will Chamberlain, did you ever count the amount of women that you had during your
I've
sexual...
never
Would you
counted.
say you came close to 2,000 women?
That sounds like a lot.
And yet, during your wild times, you were having sex with everyone. Sex with the interns on your show. We talked about this on
That's
the radio,
right.
didn't we?
Geraldo Buttafuoco.
Yes, Geraldo. You came on my show and you were upset about Joe Buttafuoco.
Oh, right.
And Geraldo says to me, this guy, he's terrible. They should kill him because if he had sex with a 16-year-old girl, it's wrong. And I said, Geraldo, who are we talking about here?
I never had sex with a 16-year-old, unless I was 16.
You had sex with 16-year-old interns?
At the age of 16.
But when you were what? When you were about in your 30s? You would
No,
have sex with
the
these very
interns were
16
18.
Oh, the 18-year-old interns, and you were in your late 30s, right?
No, this is 20 years ago. I was in my early 30s.
All right. Now, is it true, though, that you are a bit of a sexist? You refer to the females on your staff as chicks? Is that true?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know how to answer
You
that?
can ask Mike Jacobs, my stage
Is that true? No, it is not.
Not true. Just another slander about me.
I see. Now that we're finishing up on women, we have to get to your 4 wives.
Okay.
Because people are curious about that.
Okay.
You marry a woman named Linda Koblenz. Mm-hmm. You marry her when you're how old? Oh, there she is. There's your wedding photo. Now, what the hell happened to you?
Look at that. Isn't
Look,
that
no wonder you grew that mustache.
Yeah.
The hell is that?
I actually have nice lips, don't I?
Yeah, you have nice... I'm not sure that's you. I think that's Rollin Smith, the news anchor. And
That was when I was trying to fit in.
Now, that's a very beautiful woman. How old were you there?
She was beautiful. I was 20.
You were 20 years old. And you met her, what, in high school?
College.
College. And she starts going... She loves you for you because you weren't famous at that point. You weren't known. And you dumped her. Why?
Because I was an unfaithful person.
An unfaithful person. Well, I tell you something, I would have been faithful to her. Where is she now? She's still married?
Yes. She remarried, and I think she's living in a university community. She's an artist.
My God, there must be so many angry women. Angry at Geraldo.
I don't think she's angry.
She's not angry
No,
anymore?
she's not angry.
All right, what we're going to do is take a break. We're going to come back, and then I have a lot to cover in the 4th segment. I have to
Yes.
get to your career. We have to get away from the women.
My career.
We're going to get to your
That'll
career.
be the last 30 seconds.
The last 30
career.
seconds. We'll cover
Oh,
your
yes, and he
career.
was on television for 23 years.
We'll be back right after this. Hey, look who's here, Geraldo, huh? You having a good time, Geraldo? You okay, pal?
So far, so good.
So far, so
So
good.
far, so
Geraldo
good.
not feeling well, thinks he has the flu because he's so macho. He does this boxing. You do boxing, right?
That's right.
And you're so macho that you must go to the boxing place even though you were feeling like the flu was coming on.
That's right.
You
And
felt
it was,
sick
it
this
was
morning?
definitely a mistake.
You woke up, you had stomach problems?
Right.
You had, what, a virus coming on?
I had the chills and sweats.
And you're so
alternately.
afraid of getting flabby
That's right.
or looking bad, you are so compulsive about it
Yeah,
that
it's a
you
dumb
had,
idea.
You had to go to the gym.
Dumb
And now
idea
you will
to
be
go
sick
to
for
the gym.
days.
Oh, don't say that. I got
Is that correct?
2 shows tomorrow.
You have 2 shows.
why-
Congratulations on your new baby, by the way.
And yours
Yes,
as
thank
well.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have some tape of you. Here's a couple of highlights from Geraldo's career. Everyone likes to look at this when Geraldo beat up the Klan guy. Now, Geraldo, my theory on this is you went down there to
Looking for a fight?
looking for a fight. No. Because this was good for ratings, too. But you're a brave man. I don't know that I could have done something like this.
I hate them so much, those people.
Now, he bit you,
And
right?
they're just, look at my thumb. Still.
There it is. Wow, look at that. The thumb is
Still.
cracked. Hold it. I'll get a shot
These
of the
months
thumb.
later, you can see
Where is
my
that
trapped
thumb? Here.
Look at him clawing my face, that little
Camera one, look at that
Nazi
thumb.
punk. Oh, wait,
that's
there,
my thumb.
there.
I see. All right.
There it is.
Wait a second. Look at the thumb. All right. All right, there you go. Now,
Timmy, you've been far too nice in the last minute.
you think so? Okay, let's take a look at another piece of tape. Let's take a look at when you get liposuction on your show.
All right.
Mr. Macho has to get an operation done on himself because he feels that he has to do all these things. Now, they took...
My wife made me do this.
Okay, all right.
All right, now, they took...
There's Joan, your old friend. There's Mike, actually.
They took your cellulite
That's right.
out of your buttocks.
Right.
Your pants are down now.
My pants are almost down.
And they are draining the cellulite out of your tush.
Joan is peeking.
Now, why are they doing this? What are you going to do?
They're actually taking the fat out of my. It's over here. The
Yes.
little bit they can find, and they're putting it. See the wrinkles between my eyebrows?
Yes,
They're going to fill in those wrinkles with the fat from my butt.
I see. Okay,
And,
another
and it led
highlight.
to all the butthead jokes.
I see. And now you went to Donahue's 25th anniversary. Is that
I was
correct?
indeed there.
Now you owe a lot to Donahue. Because
Actually, you should have Donnie on this show.
I should have Donahue
Yeah.
on this show.
Yeah.
I wondered would he come on or would he be afraid to come on? Because I would ask him about that Marlo Thomas of his.
Why? Oh, I don't want to say.
What is that?
Nothing.
You don't like her?
Nothing.
Why
I
don't you
like
say
her
it?
fine. I like her fine.
You were going to say something.
I withdraw. I withdraw.
What were you going to say?
Nothing.
There you are. And there's Larry King going to the same stupid
Good man,
event.
Larry King. Good man.
And
Liz Smith,
Liz
Barbara.
Smith, various other people, Barbara Walters. And you go to, there's Connie and Maury.
Nice people.
And it's obvious
She's
to me,
beautiful.
there's
She's
Oprah. Now, she's a big fat cow. Why can't you beat her in the ratings? Why can't you beat her in the ratings?
I met Stedman in L.A. last week at the Super Bowl. 2 weeks ago.
Stedman is the greatest heterosexual alive on the planet. I'll tell you why. Any guy who get aroused for that big fat Oprah has got to be the greatest heterosexual.
You'll never get Oprah on the show now.
Oprah, I don't care. I got
okay.
you. That's fine.
All right.
That's good enough for me because Oprah doesn't admit to all her
No,
wacky
Stedman is a
sexual
big guy.
You think Stedman loves Oprah or he is with Oprah because of her money?
Well, I hope that he loves her, but it's not a
painfully
bad
obvious.
it's not a bad fringe benefit that your woman has $150 million.
Absolutely, it is not. And we'll leave on that note. Geraldo, I want to
Is that
thank
the
you.
end? Really?
Yes, it went fast, didn't it?
It did go fast.
It did go fast. You know what it is? That's such an endless list of women that you humped that it took the whole show to
Are
get
you allowed
through
to
it.
say humped?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Aren't we? But Geraldo, I want to thank you for coming on.
It was
Very
my
nice of you.
pleasure. It was indeed.
And everyone who wants to hear about Geraldo's sexual experiences, buy that book.
Don't buy the book.
Where he brags for an hour and a half about all the women he had sex with.
There's 40 pages of sex and 500 pages of righteousness.
Well, who cares about the righteousness,
right.
my friend? We care about the sex. All right, until next time, we'll see you on the Howard Stern interview. And thank you, Geraldo.
Thank you.
Here we go. How are you gonna go home and have sex if you're sick? It's gonna be a problem.
Believe me, that's not a problem.
That's it.
The problem is when she sees the show.
Yeah, right. Why did you do that?
That's right.
Yeah.